In today's video, we're going to talk about pitching strategy and mental skills for amateur pitchers. So if you're a pitcher, take these lessons to heart. If you're a coach, these are the things you want to work through with your pitchers in games and practice. Continue to reinforce all the different tips that you'll get in this video, in the dugout, in the bullpen, and in games. And if you're new here, I'm Blewett. I'm the author of 5 baseball and mental skills books. My latest, The Art of the Mound Visit, is on sale now. Check it out in the description below. It's an amazing resource for pitching coaches of all ages. All right, number 1, do not be a back against the wall pitcher. This is a really common one. I'd even see this with my teammates in pro baseball. A lot of times pitchers do not really focus up and get their intensity to the highest level until a couple pitches into the at-bat. And the result of this is that they fall behind consistently in the count. So new batter walks in, it's nothing, and I, just like not real focused, and I throw ball 1. And now, okay, I'm behind the count. I got to really focus up now. Boom, now I'm 1-1, or I'm 2-0, and now I'm always battling back. I'm always behind, and I'm always like pitching with my back against the wall. I've known really amazing pitchers that I was teammates with that constantly pitch like this. And I think it's a mental state where they're just a little bit unfocused because it's a new at-bat, a new inning, right? And there's nothing like high stakes happening yet. The bases are not loaded. It's not 3-2, with the bases loaded. It's not 0-2. So they don't really lock in yet. But you have to lock in every single pitch. And that's one of the challenges in baseball, whether you're a pitcher, a hitter, or a fielder. If you take one pitch off as a shortstop, and that's the one where they hit that hot shot next to you, and you're a little bit slow getting to it, well, you hurt the team, right? You didn't get to that one that you should have. It happens the same with hitting. It happens the same with pitching. You can't take pitches off. So as a coach, you have to reinforce this. And as a pitcher, you've got to say, all right, get ahead in the count. Be aggressive. Do not nibble. Every pitch counts. Let's fire it in there, whether it's 0-0 or 0-2 or 3-2. When you're a pitcher, you have to try to destroy the bottom of the lineup. And that seems obvious, but lots of pitchers lose focus on the bottom of the lineup. They get their focus up when it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the big hitters. Those are the ones I got to really, really lock in against, right? Shohei Ohtani's coming up. Kyle Schwarber's coming up. I don't want to get taken deep by these guys. I got to really focus up. And then guess what? They lose focus after that big wave of hitters is gone. And now it's 7, 8, 9. Like, okay, Joe Schmo's up. No big deal. And I fall behind. And then guess what? I walk Joe Schmo, the 8-hitter. And then 9-hitter. This guy's even worse. No big deal, right? I fall behind, and then I throw a cookie, and then smack, doubling the gap. And now, second and third, no one out. Guess who's coming up? One of my college coaches was really good about reinforcing this lesson with me. He was like, look, you lose games when you walk the 9-hitter. You lose games when you can't get the 7, 8, 9-hitter out, because then they are all on base when the best hitters come up. So you can't take those hitters off. You've got to lock in, absolutely lock in. And even if you feel like they're pushovers, okay, I'm going to destroy the 7-hitter. I'm going to destroy the 8-hitter. And it's boom, get back in the dugout. I'm going to strike you out on 3 pitches. You've got to have this deep attack mindset on the bottom of the lineup so that these bases stay completely empty when the best hitters come up. And now if you're thinking, okay, we should have that mindset all the time, 100% you're correct. But we are humans, and our intensity and our emotions rise and fall. And so it's a real mental challenge to say, can I keep my focus up exactly the same as if I'm pitching to Shohei Ohtani when I'm pitching to Joe Schmo at the bottom of the lineup? That is the key to being a successful pitcher long-term, keeping the bases clear of the bottom of the lineup so the top hitters have less damage that they can do. Number 3, and this is huge, every pitcher needs to have a reset plan. And let me show you what that looks like. So I just gave up a double. I'm off the rubber. I'm going to go through my 4-step process. Number 1, I take a long, slow, deep breath to get oxygen, to calm myself down, and to get time back on my side. If I'm taking a deep breath, nothing else is going to happen during that deep breath. I'm putting time back in my hands. Number 2, a reset action. And this is something that every pitcher can do differently. And it's saying, when I do this symbolic action, I'm moving on from the bad thing that happened. So it could be when I take my hat off, okay, I can be mad for a second. And when the hat goes back on, that double is gone. That walk is gone. I'm moving on, right? I could, tap my cleats. I could take my glove off. Glove goes back on. Now we're refocusing. So a reset action is something really simple and small and not negative. I'm not going to smack my leg, but I could tap my leg As long as it's not a negative show of emotion, anything works. Number 3 is positive self-talk. So this is where we say, okay, yeah, that double, that was a fluke. I'm gonna strike this hitter out on 3 pitches. I'm the pitcher that everyone wants out here. I'm the right person for this moment. Just because I gave up 3 runs doesn't mean I don't belong on this mound. Whatever your positive self-talk looks like, and it will look different to everyone, and it should be personal, and it should be realistic, and it should be specific, not just like, you can do it, Dan. I don't think that really helps people that much, but it should be, I'm prepared for this moment. I'm ready. I belong on this mound. Self-talk in everything we do in life is so important. And if we have time and space to let in the negative self-talk, we have to drown that out with positive self-talk. There's always going to be something going on in here. So the more you can rehearse your mantra, little thing that you say in your head over and over and over, or positive self-talk, now we can get ourselves back into believing in ourselves and doing the job at hand. And then number 4 is focusing on the smallest item possible that I can control next. The atom of the sport, right? Everything's made of atoms. This baseball, this glove, me as a human, we're all made of atoms. The atoms of baseball is 1 pitch at a time. So if I'm in a base loaded jam and I'm all nervous about it, I'm not gonna try to get myself out of the jam. I'm not gonna try to strike this hitter out. I'm not gonna try to get 3 outs all at once. I'm just gonna say, make 1 good pitch. Pick your pitch and try to execute that pitch. Make 1 good pitch at a time. That's how we dig ourselves out of this mess. All right, 1 good changeup. And boom, I execute that changeup as best I can. And then we do it again. That's the final thing in that reset. All right, next thing. Way too many pitchers at all levels get too tricky trying to do fancy stuff to strike hitters out and make them look extra bad. Reinforce constantly with your pitchers for all you coaches. Do not get tricky. Once you're ahead of them, go right at them and be aggressive. Throw them that curveball that's gonna break in the dirt, that's fine, but let's not nibble. We're not gonna try to throw the perfect curveball we've ever thrown. We're not gonna try to throw the world's best changeup. We're just gonna throw the changeup as best we can, our typical changeup, our typical curveball. Whatever's good is good enough. When pitchers try to get too tricky, I'm gonna throw a backdoor slider and then this cutter 2 inches off the plate, and then I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Now we're 0-2. And now suddenly we're 3-2. And we've wasted pitches and we've given the hitter a chance to get back in the at-bat. It honestly never fails. When pitchers try to be too tricky, things always get worse. And they give the hitter the advantage and let them get back into the at-bat. Next, pitchers should focus on their strengths much more than exploiting hitters' weaknesses. And here's what I mean. I'll give you a good example from my career. When I was pitching, I was very good to my arm side of the plate. That meant I could locate really well inside to righties and away to lefties. And I was not that good at getting into lefties or away to righties. So say my catcher said, hey, change up, and I throw 2 great changeups and we're 0-2. And then the catcher says, all right, let's go inside to this lefty since we threw 2 changeups. That makes total sense on paper. But for old Dan here, I'm gonna miss that spot 4 out of 5 times trying to go into that lefty. And if I miss inside on him and I miss over the plate, it's a really bad result. So I learned over time that I don't trust what's good in theory. I only trust what's good for me in real life. And for me, I'd say, no, I can't make that pitch. I can't get that under that lefty's hands reliably. Sometimes I can, but if this pitch really matters, then I probably can't. So instead, let's go up the ladder. Let's throw that high fastball instead of going inside to the lefty because I can make that pitch. And so we'll do that instead. That's a good second bet that is grounded in reality about what I'm actually good at. Too often pitchers try to throw what they think the hitter can hit, even though they're not good at making that pitch. Do not do that. Or if the umpire is saying, or if the umpire is squeezing you away and you're afraid to go away, no, if that's your strength, keep going there. The umpire will adjust. Keep sticking with your strength. Do not pander to the hitter's weakness. Now, if the hitter's weakness is also your strength, then great, life is gonna be good. But overall, if you're not sure which to choose your strength as a pitcher. And my last big tip for pitchers here is to stay present with what you actually see. Too often pitchers start thinking about, well, I think I'm gonna throw a curveball. What if he thinks I'm gonna throw a curveball? If he thinks I'm gonna throw a curveball, should I throw a curveball? But then if he thinks this and I think that and they think this, and we get in this theoretical guessing game and it doesn't help anybody. When the hitter swings, they're giving you information. Every pitch I throw, I'm collecting some amount of information from the hitter, whether it's a strike, a ball, a foul, a home run, a take, whatever it is. And I want to just take that actual real information and make my next pitch call, my next judgment on that. When you start getting so theoretical, oh, I think they're going to adjust on this pitch. I threw 2 changeups and they looked horrible on both of them. So I think I should probably go to a different pitch now because they probably think that I'm going to throw a 3rd changeup. No, if they took 2 ugly swings at 2 changeups, make them take a 3rd ugly swing at a changeup. They probably will, unless we're talking about Shohei Ohtani or some big leaguer that can make miraculous adjustments. They're going to take a 3rd ugly swing. So stay here, stay present, say, what did the hitter just tell me? Even if I threw him 5 fastballs in a row and they were late and fouled off all of them, there's no evidence yet that they're going to adjust. So let's stick with the fastball and maybe move it inside, right? Don't get in this guessing game. Don't start jumping down a rabbit hole of wondering what the hitter's thinking. Just attack and execute your own plan as a pitcher. All right, that's it. If you have any questions, leave me a comment below. Check out my online courses for pitching, my pitching books, all my other resources in the description below. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you here in the next video.